Hi TCG fam, TLRY here. I just want to do a quick trade review of a TLRY Oversold bounce that I traded today. I called out the trade that was approaching in the room, and then after that I proceeded to give my reasoning. Got lots of questions, so I just wanted to cover the details of the trade and what my clues were. Did I trade it perfectly? No, but I did trade it well, and so I just want to share what I did and why I did it. So when I'm looking at oversold bounces, I really zoom into the 2-minute to give me more detail. So before I even got into this trade, I backed up to the daily. So excuse me for kind of zooming back. But I was looking for any level I could get over here below $30. So I had this level here of $28.88, and then we had this level here of $27.65. So what I do is I then add those to my chart. So now I have my levels. And if you look over here on this side of the chart, the 52-week low is $28.88. So that just kind of jumped out at me. And then when I started looking at the lows of these candles, of course the obvious one is $24, but this is a support here. The low of this candle, $26.11, $27.65, $28.88. So that just gave me some levels to bottom fish. And of course, this was brought to my attention by Dan's marijuana videos. I wasn't specifically watching TLRY until last night when I saw his video, and then I put it on my radar and I mapped my levels before I even started. Then I drilled down to the 2-minute chart and I watched the opening. I saw CGC was down. CGC wasn't quite as down as TLRY at the time, so I went for the most beat up name because I was trading an oversold bounce. So I called it out in the room around here. I typed it right before $30 flush. The $30 flush happened. We didn't get that ball climax there. So I kind of waited a little bit, and then I saw this big volume candle here. So what I'm looking at is I want volume to go up and then climax. So what I want to do is make sure that the max amount of bears have said, hey, we're done. We're covering here. I'm taking my gains and running to the bank. So I entered here around 29.40. I posted that in the room, and then it continued to flush. It flushed $29. Then I also posted in the room I would not be exiting unless $28.88 was lost. And then I just want to point out that TLRY has wide spread, so a stop at $28.88 might trigger you out early. So I was watching this my eyes were completely glued to this and nothing else with my finger on the trigger. I was ready to mark it out if necessary. I prefer to limit out, but I was ready to mark it out if it got too carried away. And also I was using commons. I had planned on 3 scales. I got 1 scale, 2 scale. So I did not have to worry about decay going against me, and my position size made me comfortable in sitting through the second pullback. Also, I noticed there was bull divergence here. Excuse me. So that is, these arrows are in my way, but you get the picture. We had a little bit of bull divergence here and here, which also made me comfortable in the trade. And then the key was we held that $28.88 that I had pointed out in the room. We held that. So then the bounce began. And so my average with these 2 entries was approximately $29.19. And I'm just going to use round numbers here. It's pretty close to my actual size of 3,000 shares. So I did 1,500 shares, 1,500. I was ready to go to 4,500, didn't get there, so it left me with 3,000 shares. So then I started posting my scale out and exits. So we went up, we back tested the EMAs, and typically we back test those EMAs, we get a sharp pull, we get a pullback, and then that pullback held the low. That had me confident in holding this, and I like this hammer. Then we went up, I posted my real-time exit of $29.96, got a little bit of a topping candle, and I exited 1,000 shares. So 1,000 of my 3,000, and then I saw bear volume was still kind of low. It made me comfortable holding those other 2,000 shares, progressively locking in profits. And then my second exit was around 30.25, around right here. This bearish reversal candle formed. I got a little bit concerned, and then the preceding volume candle had increasing bear volume. I exited another 1,000 shares, and then I posted my live exit of 30.51 right in here, because again, 3 upper wicks, those are topping candles and can sometimes be interpreted as the bull's tiring out. So I exited 500 shares here. So 1,000, 1,500, and I kept the remaining 500 shares, and I exited, I would think it was right. Honestly, I don't remember. I think it was right in here in the $31 range. Of course, did not catch this top. I don't want to even pretend like I caught the top, but I think this trade worked out really well. And what made me like this oversold bounce that I do need to cover is the distance away from the EMAs. When we're falling that fast away from the EMAs, remember EMAs act like magnets. So price usually, and can, it doesn't always have to, depends on Blackburn breakdown status, is it goes back to EMA if it's extended far above the EMAs or extended far below. And then we were getting no relief bounce. So we weren't getting any little bounce in here at all to make the bulls feel good, or I mean, it was just really free fall. And those free falls are better for me and my oversold bounce tactics. So I like that we weren't getting a bounce. And then when I zoomed out and I saw the daily RSI, the daily RSI approached oversold. So on most time frames, we were oversold, made me feel a lot more comfortable holding and entering this trade. So I hope that helps someone with your next oversold bounce trade. If y'all have any questions, just tag me.